What's up guys, in today's video I'll be showing you the best beginner's guide for Roblox Fisch, going over all you need to know to get started and to advance very fast in the game. I made a beginner's guide about 9 months ago when the game was really popular, but now Fisch is having some sort of revival. It went from getting like 10,000 average players now again to 100,000. Which is what it basically used to get, and a lot has changed since then about how you start in the game. Before we start, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe so we can reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're very close. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the guide. The first thing you should know is what rods you want to use. But so basically to start the game, you want to go over this guy to Pierre, and he is the guide, and if you talk to him, then basically he will tell you how to catch a fish and advice. He gives you basically a tutorial when it is your first time ever playing the game, and he will cover the fishing basics like casting and shaking and the reeling minigame. But when you first start in the game, the rod you're going to have is the Flimsy Rod over here, and this is the default rod, and it is also pretty bad. Like, the max kilograms is only 10.4 and all the stats are 0. Like, I literally never even used this on this account. But the first rod you actually want to grind with is going to be the Carbon rod, which I already own. And it costs 2,000 coins, and you just want to use the Flimsy Rod until you reach around 2,000 coins. It probably won't take that long, maybe 10 minutes. But once you reach 2,000, just go over here and purchase it. And now the Carbon rod has much better stats, 600 kilograms, and 5% lure speed, 25% luck, and all that. Once you reach level 5, you will be able to buy a rowboat to get off Moosewood Island over here, which is the name of the spawn island. And a rowboat over here is 400 coins. It is very cheap, so it won't take long to grind for that at all. I actually don't even have it, and I've been playing this game for like a year, but I will go ahead and buy it right there. And then you have this boats thing in your hotbar over here. You can just open it and click it, and then you will be able to spawn the rowboat. Now, once you're able to get off Moosewood Island, which you should try and do like as fast as possible, really, because there's like nothing worth it there, but you want to go ahead to Roslit Bay, which is just straight across from Moosewood Island. You can see all these different locations all around the world, like Sunstone Island, Castaway Cliffs, and all these different things. The fish map is pretty big, but once you make it to Roslit Bay over here, which you will see the lighthouse, the next rod you're going to want to try and get is going to be the Rapid Rod, which spawns at Roslit Bay. Now, I'll actually put the full rod progression guide on screen right now. This is for the entire game, basically. You guys can see it goes from level 1 through 10, and it recommends a progression path of going from fast rod to rapid rod, phoenix rod, and of course everything else over there. But yeah, the rapid rod is going to be right over here for 14,000 coins. It has 89% lure speed, 49% luck, 9% resilience, and 700 max kilograms. So now I've gone over the basics, what rods you want to use, and how to get off the spawn island. And now I'll move on to showing you guys the best early game fishing spots. But before I do that, I do also want to show you guys all of the working codes. So I'll also put a screenshot of all the active codes and leave a link in the description to the Fisch wiki, where it always says all the active codes. But if you go over here and you type in Lego My, it gives you a title. Sorry reward gives you a golden tentacle and 1,500 coins. The Kraken, Carbon, Sorry Guys, Atlantean Storm, Golden Tide, New Year, Fishmas Day, Third Expedition, and Merry Fishmas. So those are all the working codes in the game right now, just to give you guys some extra money. I think in total that gives around 10,000 coins or more. So yeah, now on to the best early fishing spots in the game. So of course, Moosewood is the starter island, but it is really not good at all. That's why you want to try and get to even Roslit Bay to buy the rapid rod as fast as you can. Roslit Bay is also a good place for fishing, specifically in this bay area over here. If I turn on my fish radar, you guys will see there is a lot of different stuff. There's the angelfish, clownfish, blue tang, and pufferfish, and just in this bay area over here, they all kind of combine together, and those are all good starter fish. Once you guys get enough money, like 15,000 coins, I definitely recommend getting the speedboat over here, which is 15,000. It is so much better than the default boat. The rowboat speed is 25, and then the speedboat speed is 85. But yeah, you guys are gonna notice the difference. It's gonna be so much easier to get through islands and stuff. Anyways, one place I really do recommend for fishing in early game is going to be the Grand Reef over here. And if you come to the Grand Reef, there's two sections, basically the Grand Reef and then the Atlantean Storm. So if you come over here to one of the side islands, basically, you guys are going to see that it says Atlantean Storm instead of Grand Reef. And this is a really good place to fish. You guys can see all these different whirlpools over here and all these things, because if you go under here in the late game, which I'll probably mention in my advanced guide, underneath this island is the way to unlock the Atlantis area. Anyways, so if you literally just fish over here, you can get the rapid rod or whatever you have. This is probably going to be the best early game spot. Like right over here, I think I got a good fish on my first try actually, and I got the Abyss Snapper. Also, specifically if an Aurora event is happening, which it will say on the bottom of the screen over here, and also announced at the top, it'll say an Aurora event has started, then the best spot in the entire game to fish in early game is going to be the Grand Reef, so the middle island over here, not one of the side islands. Now I want to move on to bait and crates. Pretty important thing to cover to explain bait and stuff. If we go over here into my equipment bag, you guys are going to see on the side it says bait. You have your fishing rods and all that stuff over there, but then all these different baits. And I remember when I first started playing this game, it was kind of confusing what exactly I have to do to get these baits and what baits are good or not. So bait crates, you can buy them at a lot of different islands. One of them is going to be Sunstone Island, which I'll show you guys right over here. Anyways, over here, actually they used to have normal bait crates over here, but it seems like they changed it to tropical bait crates. Yeah, there's also different types of bait crates. I can go ahead and buy 50 of them right there and just spam click to open them. Some are rarer, like you guys can see if I open this for a while. I got one rainbow one. It says Luminous Larva, which is the best thing you can get from this one. But since apparently they don't have normal bait crates at Sunstone Island anymore, the one place I do know they have them is going to be Moosewood. So if you just come over here and go to the dock, basically smack center in the middle of the dock, you can go ahead and buy bait crates. So yeah, and again, basically the same thing as the other bait crate. Of course, you just open them and you get random baits. And yeah, as I said, it can be difficult to actually know what baits are good and what baits are bad, but there are stats. It says preferred luck, resilience, lure speed, universal luck. Some of the best beginner baits that I recommend are any of the worms. If you go ahead and search up mist worms, there's peppermint worm and then normal worm. I think peppermint worm was from the last winter update, so I'm not sure if that's available anymore, but worm is pretty good and also very common. Also these flakes and super flakes. Rapid catchers is also a really common and also really good one. And then some rarer but even better ones are Aurora baits, which I'm currently using right now. Fish head, instant catcher, which I'm sure you guys can tell what that does by the name. And yeah, so you can just open these for a while. They are a worth it investment. It can be a lot of money. It's like 120 coins per crate, I think. But yeah, I would save some of those better or more advanced baits for more difficult areas once you advance even further into the game. Now I kind of want to go over enchanting, just the basics of it. If I go into my equipment bag, you guys can see that, for example, my trident rod has the abyssal enchantment, and I currently have 13 enchant relics. So to enchant any rod, you need enchant relics, and to get these enchant relics, you can either buy them at the top of Sunstone Island for 11,000 coins each, which I will show you guys how to do, or you can just fish them up, which are pretty common in the depths area, which is going to be one of the places that you want to try and unlock when you are kind of starting out in the game. That should be one of your first main goals, is to unlock the depths. But yeah, when you get up to like the Phoenix rod or even higher, that's when you should actually start enchanting your rods. But anyways, if you go into this shop at the top of Sunstone Island and talk to this guy, his name is Merlin, and you ask for power, then he says he will grant you relics of power for 11,000 coins each, and you can buy them in bundles, basically like 50 relics for 550,000 coins. I'll just say never mind, because I'm not going to actually buy any of those right now, but that's how you can either buy them or fish them in the depths. Now, since unlocking the depths is probably going to be one of your first major goals within the game, I'll go over basically just how to do that, as well as after that some leveling and XP tips. But yeah, as I said, the first main thing you really want to try and do is going to be unlock the depths, because there's a lot of good things there, like the Rod of the Depths, which I also have a tutorial on how to get, and it's just one of the best, I'd say, beginner places to fish in the game, even though it's not really beginner, it's kind of more like mid-tier, but they've added so much in the game since my last beginner's guide video. In my last video, the depths was literally the best place to fish in the entire game, so this video is long overdue because of how much more there is in the game now. Anyways, to unlock the depths, what you want to try and do is find a whirlpool. Now, whirlpools spawn all around the ocean, but you want to specifically find one which is an Isonade whirlpool. And if you get the fish radar, which you can get at Moosewood Island, you'll be able to see if at a whirlpool it shows that Isonade are spawning there. But if you don't have fish radar, you can tell if it is an Isonade whirlpool by if it has a beacon coming out of it. And yeah, here we go. I finally found one. So basically, you want to just try and find a whirlpool that looks like this. It has to have the beacon coming out of it, and then you can just jump in and your screen will fade to black and you'll be teleported to this place called Vertigo. And now in your bestiary, which by the way, since I haven't mentioned yet in this video, is basically just like your collection of what fish you have unlocked. And yeah, so your bestiary for Vertigo, you just basically need to complete all of it. There is the exotic, the Depths key, which is the rarest thing here, but really not that difficult to get even with the basic beginner rods and stuff. Once you get all of those things and you get the Depths key, then you can go over to this door over here and then basically just place your Depths key in the door, unlock it, and it will be unlocked permanently. And so yeah, this is the depths over here. You need to complete this obby to actually get to the other side. Once you get to the actual main area of the depths, what I would do is probably set your spawn here. So if you find the innkeeper guy, you basically can just set your spawn here. Honestly, I do not even know where the innkeeper is. So maybe you can't actually set your spawn here. Someone let me know in the comments down below and let me know where the innkeeper is for everyone else watching the video. Either way, I'm pretty sure you can set your spawn in Vertigo because I remember being able to spawn here unless they changed it. So yeah, someone let me know. Anyways, this is also the place where you can unlock the maze to get the Rod of the Depths for 750,000 coins, which I also have a tutorial for, which I will link a card to in the corner of the screen. In my opinion, that is basically one of the best starter rods. I mean, it used to be better. This is my personal tip, but if you focus fully on just grinding to 750,000 coins, getting the Hex and Abyssal Enchant Relic to unlock the maze, then that is much, much easier than going through the full, like, 7 stages of rod progression that it takes. That would take much, much longer. Anyways, now I'll go on to some leveling and XP tips. Once you get up to, like, stage 3 of the rods or whatever, what I would recommend after Rapid Rod is definitely the Phoenix Rod. But once you get that or something similar or even better, I would recommend getting the Clever Enchants. And I also did just realize I never actually showed how to enchant at the altar. Basically, if you go into the Statue of Sovereignty, walk all the way down, you can pay for an elevator for 400 coins, go down to the enchant altar, and use your enchant relics, which you can either get from fishing in the depths or buying them. So yeah, that is at the Statue of Sovereignty. Anyways, as I was saying, the enchant you definitely want to get XP is going to be Clever. What the Clever enchant does is it basically gives 2 times XP. That is the best enchant for XP in the entire game. So if you combine getting perfect catches, like right there, perfect, which is by hitting it right at the green thing, that is the fastest way to grind XP without any special events. But there are special events. What they do now compared to 9 months ago with my old guide is they now do like an admin abuse every weekend, just like a lot of popular Roblox games. Every weekend, whenever there's a new update, which you guys can sign up for and see the dates of on the actual Fish page, the developers will join the game for a few hours running tons of different admin events that give you like times 1,000, 10,000, or even higher XP. There also are a lot of different XP boosts you guys can get in the game. And yeah, some last beginner tips I want to give you guys is going to be to favorite items in your inventory to avoid selling them if you click sell all in your inventory over here. But if you have something favorited and you want to keep something, it will not sell it. Another thing is appraising. If you have a fish and you want to appraise it, you can go over to this guy. Can you appraise this fish? And it'll cost 68 coins or different or something. And then it can either have a higher weight or a lower weight, or it'll be given an enchantment. Also, shiny and sparkling fish are worth much, much more than normal fish. There's merchants on like every single island. And yeah, there is basically so many things to go over. So as I mentioned earlier, I might also make an advanced guide because there is so much more in the game now. In this video, I covered such a small fraction of what is actually in Fish. If you guys would like me to make an advanced guide going over things much more in depth and specific strategies in order to get to max level and millions, if not billions of coins, then again, please make sure to leave a like on the video, comment down below what your favorite part of the video was and how it helped you, and also subscribe so we can reach 100k subscribers. Also, join my Discord server to keep updated with all Fish codes. But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and I will see you guys in the next Roblox Fish video.